I scaled my agency from 10K a month to 83K a month in 3 months. So I literally went from a 6-figure agency to a 7-figure agency in the span of 90 days. And then and only then, I realized that the inputs that you need to put in to get from 6 to 7 are drastically different. And so in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I did in my agency to 8x in 90 days so you can implement the same things and see the same success. So a while back, I was listening to Hermosi and he basically said that he heard Jay Abraham say this thing in an event and it changed his life. When I heard it, it changed mine too. So he literally said there's only 3 ways to change your business. Now, 1, you get more customers. And so essentially you have a better funnel. Number 2, you get those customers to pay you more. So you either have better sales, better funnel, better offer, or likely like all 3 of them. Like essentially getting the contract value higher, the cash collected higher, things like that. And then number 3 is literally just retain those current clients or like increase your LTV. So you either 1, get more people to pay you, 2, get those people to pay you more when they do pay you, or 3, get them to pay you longer, which would just be like how good your product is, how good your offer is, and not having like a churn and burn agency. So when I did see this, I realized that 1, I had to get more customers, right? And so when we do get more customers, we're going to talk about basically ads. Every 100K agency that I've ever seen, that anyone has ever seen, has been effective at running paid ads. And so when it comes to a winning ad campaign, it needs to have a few things. Now, first, we need to get the right people to click on it, right? We need to get people to click on the ad. Of course, we need to get people to click on the ad, but more importantly, the right messaging and the right targeting. And so we're getting the right people to actually click. After we get them to click, we need to get those same people to convert, right? So whether that's a landing page, a lead form, whatever it is, and then we need to sell them. So sales process, and make sure that that's effective. Now, the most important thing that I'm seeing in this and people like making mistakes here is just a lack of congruency. I got this from Ravi. What he said is to make a 1-pager. When you go into business, when you are trying to market something, you need to have a 1-pager, basically this huge doc of your ICP. And so like, what do they like? What don't they like? What words do they use? What pain points are they? Like, write exactly who you want. Because if you don't know who you want, how are you supposed to get them on the ad? It's just like when you're fishing and you're guessing what fish you want to catch, like you never know what you're going to bring up. And so we need to have this 1-pager first to see who we want to click. And we need to have proper messaging on the ad creative of who we want to click on the ad. And then we need to have that same congruent messaging on the landing page. And so the people clicking see the same messaging and convert. And we need to have the same messaging, guess where, throughout the sales process. And so they convert there as well. If we don't have congruency off of all 3, then someone's going to fall off. And so an example of this is, let's say me, I'm targeting agency owners and above 10K a month. And in my ad, I'm talking about an agency that doesn't have any clients or maybe has 2 clients, right? It doesn't make sense because an agency at 10K a month has clients. And so maybe if I'm trying to target an agency at 10K a month, I can call out in my ad. Maybe I can say, if you're an agency and you have clients, but the clients don't respect you, inherently, I'm targeting somebody who has clients already. And Cole Gordon said the same thing. In the offer is the most important way to like do your targeting. So let's say you're going after a sales director. If you're going after a sales director, like inherently, like I said, you're not going to get a business that's under 3 million a year because other ones don't need sales directors. And so make this 1-pager to make sure you have congruency with your ad. Now, when you're actually going to go make your ad, you can make videos, images. Like literally, I see people like putting down images all the time. I know so many 100K a month agencies who have gotten there with images, but we're going to talk about videos here. When you are making your video, it's going to have 5 things involved. The first thing is going to be a pre-qualifier. This is making sure that we're getting the people who are in our 1-pager. And so the pre-qualifier would be, let's say my ICP is an agency owner above 10K a month. What I'm going to say in my pre-qualifier, if you're an agency owner above 10K a month, what makes a lot of sense. But if we don't have that, that's when we start to get people like coaches, consultants, people like trying to run some other type of businesses. And so maybe you're targeting solar business owners and you don't call out solar pros, solar business owners, or whatever. Like maybe you're getting some HVAC guys, maybe you're getting some roofers, maybe you're getting some general contractors or something like that. So if you are struggling with that, then I would suggest just adding that pre-qualifier, you'll be good. And if you are getting unqualified leads, whatever niche you're in, if you literally just increase the pre-qualifier, so instead of being solar pros closing over 10 deals a month, you just raise that to 15. And oftentimes you're going to get a more qualified audience in pocket there, but it's just going to cost a little bit more. So second thing is going to be the hook. This isn't even necessary. A lot of times the pre-qualifier can be the hook, but this is where you see like a lot of people right now doing that like 2-second clip. That's a hook. And for the hook, we can also do a pain statement with the pre-qualifier. So that would literally just be like, if you're a solar business owner, and then pain statement would be like, and you're tired of knocking doors all day. What are they doing that's in pain? Now that pain statement is also going to be the pre-qualifier because we're calling them out inherently with pain. We can do the same thing with a yes-based question. Are you a solar business owner who wants to get their reps off the doors and in more home? Right? Yes, obviously they do. So like when I'm saying this, I'm inherently targeting a business owner who has reps, which means they're more qualified, if that makes sense. Next is going to be the offer and social proof. So offer, literally just whatever your offer is. I guarantee you 90 appointments. I guarantee you paper close, 3 million jobs, whatever. Social proof, whatever, like social proof, testimonials, things like that, case studies, and CTA, call to action. What I want you guys to realize is like offer, social proof, CTA is like, these are all just parts of an ad that should be there. And so we can also just move the social proof up. We can move the offer late. And so like most times though, is like the later the offer is, the more expensive the lead cost is, but more qualified the lead and they just know who you are more. So keep that into account. But yeah, essentially like offer, social proof can be interchanged. And it's literally just pre-qualifier, the hook, the offer, the social proof, and the CTA. And literally just most important thing to keep in mind is whatever your offer is going to do most of the selling. If you think about what ads you click on, like if it's packaged poorly and the offer is good, you'll still convert. If it's packaged amazing, but the offer is shit, it won't convert. And so that's how we're going to drive the proper clicks to the ad creative itself. Now, when it comes to the conversion, so converting them from the ad to the actual like sales call, there's a huge mistake that people are making right now that we literally just switched and we saw some crazy results. So most people are doing this. They got a lead form and then they got the submit page. So opt in, submit, and then they have the click calendar button. Right. And so you click it, it loads up, they book a call, and it's the thank you page. The reason why this is not like the best way to kind of convert your ideal audience is just because there's a 50% drop off typically between the submit page and the calendar page. Even more, we're even seeing in some niches, it's like 80%. So that's increasing your cost per book call by 80%. And so literally we did this one thing and it dropped it, but obviously they submit it, it has to load, they have to click, it has to load again, they have to find their slot, they have to re-put all their information in, and then there's a thank you page. What we ended up doing was taking it off Facebook, off the lead form, onto a landing page. And instead of just like a normal opt-in, we did an application. And so literally we can put like, it's a landing page you see right here. And what we do is a Typeform and Calendly integration. We have our prospect fill out the Typeform and then automatically get put to Calendly. And it makes it like a smooth process of like, there's one step. Because right here, there's obviously two steps. You opt in and then you book a call. If you opt in and you're like, what am I doing? Then you drop off. But this application makes it seem one smooth step. You opt in and book a call. And so Typeform and Calendly can integrate together. It's like one of the most smooth integrations. And like I'd highly suggest you use it. And it decreased our cost per book call like literally in half. And so you go Typeform and then you can integrate Calendly, and it can also autofill their information. And so like you can literally just Google it, like how to do it, but it can literally autofill their information from the Typeform to the Calendly so they don't have to put it in twice. And then, so this is just one page going to the thank you page. And so this 50% drop off literally just goes away. So I'd make sure that you guys are doing that when it comes to converting the leads to book calls. Now, the top ways to land clients and the top 3 things I want you guys to keep in mind throughout this whole process of me talking about ads is 1, simple sales, complex fails. Literally, I see so many people trying to overcomplicate the process, their unique mechanism, their landing page, pixels, this and yada, yada, yada. To get to 100K a month, you literally just have to have one ad that works, that you can scale, that'll book you calls at a cheap price. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't have to be pretty. Maybe it's butt ugly. It doesn't matter. But simple scales, complex fails. Literally, the more simple it is, the more scalable it is. And so test what works, then scale it. That's literally it. So we find this ad works as producing a cheap cost per book call without fatigue. So we literally take it, we spend more on it, right? And we literally just take calls from it. If we like just simplify the process, all we need to do is land a client. So we get a call booked, we have an ad, we get the call booked, and we close the client, right? It's that simple. So keep the process as simple as possible. It's so easy to get lost in the tricks of the trade of the ad account with top of funnel, bottom of funnel, middle of funnel, all of this. And that is good. It'll drop your cost per acquisition like a lot, but like under 100K a month, we literally just need one ad that converts. And then number 2, offer is king in marketing. Literally, whether it's cold outreach, whether it's ads, whatever it is, like if your offer is poor, you will not see results. You cannot take the best media buyer in the world with a shitty offer and get them to good cost per book call and cheap cost per acquisition. Like it's just not possible. And so if your offer isn't aligned with what your one pager wants, like you literally won't see results at all. Now, number 3, take the emotion out of it, especially when it comes to ads. You're going to get emotional. Your money's being spent. You don't want to lose money. No one wants to lose money. You see numbers falling down the drain. You haven't gotten return on investment yet. Like when it comes to ads, Cole Gordon says this all the time. You need money to spend, right? To obviously see if things are working, but you also need time. The more time that Facebook has, the better your leads will be as long as you're having a good feedback loop. So as long as good leads are coming in, Facebook is seeing that. Facebook learns off the good leads coming in, and that's how we can end up scaling. So that's how to get more customers at a very surface level. Next, how to get customers to pay you more. And so this is basically just going to be nurturing your current customers to be able to charge a higher ticket. Like before I even get into any of this, we've seen that if we do charge higher ticket, if we charge more, like literally we make more money. Like it's just that simple. Like we increased our price with our agency a while back from 4K up front to 6K up front. And our close rate actually increased because the perceived likelihood of achievement was higher. Basically people were like, oh, this is gonna make me more money because it's more expensive. It's like Louis Vuitton, Lamborghini type thing where it's like, it's luxury. When you're at 4K, you're like competing with the guys that are at like 2, 3, it's kind of the same. So they're just like, I'll go with the cheaper one. We're getting the same value. And so it's like, why don't we go up to 6? They're like, oh wow, this one's so much better than this because of the price discrepancies here. So like we've literally seen increasing price is the biggest lever on profit. And Hormozi says that all the time. So this is what we set up within our ad account to like get more customers to pay us more, right? To just be able to increase the price for them to trust us more. So we actually had a top of funnel, a middle of funnel, and a bottom of funnel set up within our ad account. So it's just like retargeting audiences. We do this with organic content. We do this with ads. We do this when it comes to any type of marketing, even if it's just like cold outreach, right? Top of funnel, middle funnel, bottom of funnel. So top of funnel is the initial direct response ad. So let's just say we're talking about that direct response is like this much guaranteed. And then the lead magnet would be like a value ad, right? Like direct response ad, the initial one, let's just say we're running the offer 90 appointments guaranteed in 30 days. We would have this top of funnel ad, 90 appointments guaranteed in 30 days, like whether that was outreach or an ad. The middle of funnel, we'd build that out with testimonials, with some value, and with some case studies. And so all we have to do to like tactically do that is we take our top of funnel audience, we go into custom audiences on Facebook, and we create a retargeting audience of everyone who's engaged with our lead form, with our pixel, with our landing page, with our Instagram account, with our Facebook account, and we create that audience and we just push a little bit of content to them. We put some testimonials in front of their face, some value in front of their face, some case studies. Maybe they didn't like convert here, just maybe we can bring them down the funnel and can get them to convert here. And so middle of funnel doesn't require a lot of spend at all. Let's just say you want to spend $80 a day. The rule of thumb is usually around like 85% of your spend goes to your top of funnel and then 15 goes to your middle funnel, bottom of funnel. It doesn't need much spend because the audience is so small. It's just that audience you're retargeting. So let's say you spend $60 on top of funnel, then you spend per every piece of content that you want to push out middle of funnel. It's just like $3. So you create that custom audience, you put $3 per piece of content, one testimonial, one case study that you guys have done, and then one value on how you can close more deals or something like that. And then again, you take that same audience, the one that you already have, that retargeted custom audience, and you do bottom of funnel. And so bottom of funnel is just making the ask again, making the CTA again, same thing that you had top of funnel. So the same ad that you have top of funnel, you can just put bottom of funnel, and we just slowly take them down the funnel. Now, not all of your calls are going to come from bottom of funnel, and not all of your calls are going to see your middle of funnel. But what it is going to do is it's going to drop your cost per acquisition probably in a third because people are just seeing content, they're getting to know you, they're getting to trust you, and they're understanding you as a person and you as a brand. And if you don't want to put your face out there, you can literally do it just as your business brand. Now, next thing we had in place after they went through that whole top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel was a VSL. Now, I can't get into how to create the best video sales letter in the world right now, but like this one video can increase your close rate by 30%. Literally, it does for us. Like with our agency, if they watch the VSL, our average close rate was like 35, and without it, it was literally like 12. And so like having a good VSL is amazing. So first step we have in this VSL is going to be the pre-qualifier, which is literally what we talked about a few slides ago. So whatever your one pager is, and so Solar Pros, whatever the pre-qualifier is. Next, it's going to be offer. So whatever your offer is, again, so maybe if you're a Solar Pro closing over 10 deals a month, in the VSL, we actually want to dive a little bit deeper into the pre-qualifier. So we get deep into their pain and we want to talk to them very, very specifically. This will help them be like, wow, he really knows me. And so if you're a Solar Pro closing over 10 deals a month and you're tired of knocking on doors all day, getting into homes, but they're all unqualified and failing credit, then we go offer. Right. And so you saw how like deep I kind of dove with that pre-qualifier there. But we go offer, which would be, let's just say I'm offering 90 appointments again. Then I'm going to guarantee you 90 appointments in the next 30 days. You don't pay a single penny. And then we go social proof. I know you're already thinking, why can this dude on my screen offer me a guarantee like this? And so you guys have heard this all the time, but it comes down to my track record. My client X did blah. My client Y did Z. My client John did this. Like people buy from people who they trust, like, you know, and so like showing social proof, showing that we've actually done what we're claiming is like so important. Every time you make a crazy offer, I'm going to get you 90 appointments, I'm going to get you 10 deals. We have to back it up with proof, right? So we offer and then we back it up with proof, right? It's kind of just like the proof is in the pudding, right? And Hormozi says it all the time, proof over promise. And so it's pre-qualifier, offer, social proof, unique mechanism. Now the unique mechanism is essentially what your proprietary system, your big idea, your domino effect that someone can get with you, but they can't get anywhere else, right? And so think about it like P90X's bicep confusion method. It's basically literally just that, like, it's your thing that you created. And so all we need to do is make sure that our prospects believe that our unique mechanism is the way that they are going to grow their business. And if they believe that the unique mechanism is the way they're going to grow their business, then they believe that you are the one to help them because you're the only person that can give them the unique mechanism because you made it. And so this is where the process selling starts to come in. Of what we kind of cover with the unique mechanism in the VSL is like what they've tried in the past, why they failed, and then it's also not their fault, and then why this is different. Wow, my handwriting is bad. What they've tried in the past, why they have failed with what they tried, and how it's not their fault that they have failed, and then why this is different from every other thing that they've seen in the past. And so we just process sell and like get very, very, very specific, and we make sure that our prospect sees that before the call actually takes place. Now, the last thing is retain and just basically increasing our LTV. Now, there's two ways that you can go about doing this. Many, many ways, but these are the two ways that we've seen work like the best. Now, the first thing is going to be offering a results-based offer, a performance-based offer, like pay per close, pay per sit, pay per appointment, and pay per lead. Now, one, like pay per close is going to be the best one. You'll get paid the most, and then appointment, and then lead, right? The only bad thing about pay per close is you can't always track it. I do like pay per sit and pay per appointment, probably the best for beginners, or not for beginners, but literally just for people who like don't have clients that are super close. Pay per close works super well as like an upsell. It's like, oh, we've been doing this really well together. You kind of come on as a CMO for their business. But let's just say we're offering like a pay per appointment model. So you only pay per appointment that we bring you plus a little setup fee. So let's just say the setup fee is like $6K and we can charge that, and then we're doing a pay per appointment. And make sure you guys stay because I'm going to show you like with the traditional retainer model, like how we can double our LTV within the first 2 weeks of working with our prospects. And so like I said, let's just say we're offering pay per appointment with a setup fee, like $100 per appointment and $6K setup fee, right? Of course, the prospect pays ad spend or the client pays ad spend. Now, the bad thing about the retainer model, right, is that literally your prospects are going to pay when they see a value and they're making more money than they're paying you. If they're not making more money than they're paying you, then they're not going to pay because it doesn't make sense because it's like financial services. And so here's the thing, as you see right here, is like when you are providing like a lot of value, like right here, and this is what you charge right here, like the client's going to be making money. So we're retaining them. And this is, let's just say month 2. But then let's just say month 3, you don't do as well, they actually lose money, and then they churn right here. It's always variable. What you charge stays the same with the retainer model, but what you make them is variable. And so this month they're like, oh, I just got a shit ton of value. And then this month they're like, oh shit, month 3, you guys suck. Like I'm not going to go with you. That's why like offering this like pay on results thing is like very, very profitable. If you are actually good at what you do, like you can make it very, very lucrative. And so the difference is like the value of what they get and what you charge are completely the same. And so like, let's say 1 month you do awfully, then they pay you less, right? It just makes sense, right? And 1 month they pay you way more because you did way better. And so like basically the value to what you charge is always the same. It's not like different like a retainer model is. And that's why I like it a lot, because if you're really good, you get paid a lot. You're really bad, you don't. And so you can increase LTV really fast if you're actually good at your service. This is literally the best offer in my eyes if you are good at what you do. The cool thing about this is you can literally double your LTV by doing one thing, doubling your ad spend. Or you can 4x their ad spend. You'd be like, hey, we're crushing it. Let's spend 4x. And then your LTV 4x's. But when it comes to like a traditional agency retainer, like how are you going to basically 4x your LTV? In my eyes, like the best way to like not churn clients and like make like over 10K per client. But let's just say you don't want to offer that. We would suggest is doing something called the 30-day upsell. And so if you don't want to do that, something we implement for our clients all the time is something called the 30-day upsell, right? Or 14-day upsell. It depends what you want to do. So step 1 of this would literally just be like sell client on a lead gen retainer, not appointment setting, just lead gen. And so whether this is $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month, like whatever you can get them on, only lead gen, because the cost to fulfill lead gen is nothing. You will be so profitable just selling lead gen. Like your clients won't be super upset because a lot of it is their fault. Like if they're not calling the leads, you can push the blame back on them. So after that, we give the client appointment setting for free for 2 weeks. We're calling their leads 5 times a day every day. The automations are going insane. We need to make sure we're really, really on top of it with the campaign or it's not going to work. Step 3, we take it away from them for 7 days. We give it to them and then we take it away. They physically feel the pain. And then we have a client check-in call the next week. And then we literally just ascend appointment setting for 1 to 2K a month. Let's just say we're selling 1.5K a month for lead gen, 1.5K a month for appointment setting, double your LTV right there. And so those are the things that we did and the 3 steps that we implemented to get our agency to that 7-figure run rate. If this helped you guys, click subscribe below and I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one.